All right, today on 3D Outdoors, we are going to do the bread run right after this. All right, very excited. This is going to be the first batch of food in the Harvestright. The downside of that is we're not going to be able to eat it. This is the sacrificial bread run. You need to do that, they say in the manual, use moist bread for your first run. That's going to get the new car smell out of your Harvestright, because these are all brand new components. Like when you get in a car when it's brand new, you have that smell. It's off gases from all of the new components. You want to get that out of there, obviously, because you don't want that in the food that you're going to eat. So I stopped and picked up some great value bread for right around $1, and I'm going to spread that out on the 5 trays we have, because I got the large, so I have 5 trays. And I also had some 12 grain that I haven't been eating bread lately, so this has gotten old in the freezer. I'm going to lay that out too. Kind of curious if they look any different after they went through the process. So let's get these laid out here. We'll spritz them down with water, and then we'll get this sacrificial run going. Now, a little pointer, if you're watching my video, and maybe if you watch some other people's videos on the sacrificial bread run, I seen one where she mixed vinegar 50-50 and sprayed the bread down. I suppose thinking that the vinegar would take some of that new smell out a little better than just straight water. My research, now I could be wrong, and you can correct me in the comments down below if I am, if you can find some documentation that says otherwise, but the research that I've done says don't do it. Don't do vinegar. Just don't, because the vinegar can cause damage to the components of the freeze dryer, and it can also cause damage, well, I guess it's part of the freeze dryer, can cause damage to the vacuum pump, because the vinegar can contaminate the oil, and the vacuum pumps don't like vinegar. So I'm not going to use vinegar. The manual says moist bread. That's all it says. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put moist bread in it and go from there. My spritzer is really spritzing. All right, we've got it all sprayed down there. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to refer to the manual. We're going to walk right through it as it says. And I'll read to you what it says specifically out of here and pertaining to the first run. New freeze dryers need to have 1 batch burn-in period. This means you should fill the freeze dryer with moist bread slices and freeze dry it. After the bread is finished, test the dryness and throw it away. So you're testing it to make sure it works properly and you're getting that new car smell out of there. So we're going to go into starting it up here. We're going to go to the start. And we have the Premier oil pump, so we're going to choose that. It says selected pump, Premier oil pump, save, cooling vacuum chamber. Wait 15 minutes before loading trays. So we're going to wait 15 minutes and then we will check back in. All right, we walked away for a little bit. We're almost to 17 minutes, so we missed it by 2 minutes, but that's okay because the freeze dryer will wait for you. It says load trays into freeze dryer, close drain valve. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. I'm going to close the drain valve over here, turn that to a 90 degrees. You can open the door. I'm going to get these loaded in. Oh yeah, you can feel the cold coming out of there already. So it's getting ready to freeze this food up. And you actually see the cold coming out of the door. All right, trays are in there. Gonna latch the door, comes tight, and then it pulls it down nice and snug. And you can see the ring sealing all the way around there. Let's grab the camera here so I can give you a closer look. Now we're gonna hit continue. It says freezing. So it's gonna freeze it first, and then it'll start vacuuming on it. And we're going to come back in about 12 to 14 hours, I'm guessing, is what this one's going to take, since it's just moist bread. We were doing something like tomato sauce, or we're going to be making pizza sauces and tomato pastes, and if it was fruit or something like that, I could see maybe 24 hours. But I'm going to check this again in 12 to 14 hours, and we'll let you know where we're at. All right, we are to the point of additional dry time. Now, the units themselves have an extra dry time pre-programmed in. It runs an extra 2 hours. So we know we're on the countdown right now. You can see we've been running for 19 hours and 40 minutes, a bit longer than I thought it would. So we're going to be a good 21 hours plus by the time this is done. But we know we're on the home stretch now. Looking pretty good in there. We'll be back as soon as it's done. All right, very exciting. We're almost to the minute countdown here. You can see it says drying extra dry time, 1 minute 6 seconds, and counting down. It's been running 20 hours and 50 minutes, and we're almost to the point where our first actual batch of food is done. Even though we can't eat it, it's gonna have to be thrown away because this is a sacrificial bread run. Very exciting to be getting our first one done. Now, I think I probably said earlier in the video when I started this yesterday that I thought it was going to take 12 to 15 hours maybe. I watched some other videos on this process, and that's all it took. But maybe they didn't spritz the bread down as much as I did. Maybe I put a little more water on there. But here we go. Here's 24, 23. For me, this is exciting. And if you get one of these too, I think you'll find it to be exciting as well. I think you'll get excited too if you have one of these and you're getting your first batch. 2, 1, process complete. Open drain valve to vent. If needed, select more dry time. So we're going to go over here, we're going to follow the instructions, and we're going to open the drain valve. Whichever way it goes, there it goes. And that's why you don't want the hose in the bucket, because it's venting air back in. And the seal ring you can see shrinking around here. That thick plexiglass on the outside, the seal's been sealed up to it the whole time. All right, let's open it up and get the product out. The bottom one, tray is warm. There we go. Hard. Everything feels dry on that one. Yeah, all these trays are warm because these warmers, there's warmers on each one of these. I'll show you inside of here once I get this all out. You can see the frost inside of here. So there's all of our bread. Give you a closer view here. Hard, look at that, just crumbles apart. See if the ends are the same way. Yep, crumbly, crumbly. Yep. All of it came out the same. It is all done. It is all super dry. Crumbles apart as you snap it. Perfectly freeze dried. So if this was regular food that you were going to put up, you could do it. Now it's asking, okay, so now it's asking you, do you want no defrost, more dry time, or defrost? So if I was going to run another batch in here in a couple hours, I would hit defrost. I'll show you inside here. You can see all the frost that's built up inside here. That's moisture that it pulled out, and that's what will run out the drain tube and into the bucket down there when it defrosts here. Now I'm going to hit no defrost because I'm not going to run it right away. So I'll just let the air temperature itself defrost that. And I just close the door there so nothing gets inside of there. And we're just going to let that defrost on its own. So there you go. There is our first official run in the Harvestright, the sacrificial bread run. This is Dan with 3D Outdoors, reminding you to get into the outdoors and enjoy everything it has to offer. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell. That way you get notified anytime we put up new content. And you can always follow us over at 3d-outdoors.com, which is our website where we pull everything together. See you next time.